They once made a line of people stretch around the block for a simple, warm ring of dough. Krispy Kreme wasn't selling pastries. It was selling a moment, a glow of the "hot now" sign, sugar in the air, a box that felt like a celebration. Investors loved the story as much as customers loved the glaze, and the promise seemed unstoppable. If one store could create a frenzy, 100 could create a movement. But every business that flies too close to the sun faces the same question. Is this momentum real demand, or just speed masquerading as scale? Today, we'll decode how a brand that looked invincible found its limits, and what that rise and fall says about growth, hype, and the cost of ignoring the warning lights. The legend begins at a small southern bakery with a secretly raised recipe in the show donut theater that turned production into performance. Families watched the conveyor belts like a parade, and the product had a charming contradiction, indulgent yet feather-light, engineered for that one more bite. For decades, the company expanded carefully, letting desire accumulate before earning supply. Then the late 90s arrived with a bull market and the taste for national chains. The story was perfect for Wall Street, a beloved niche ready to go mainstream, a cult upgraded to a festival. The IPO raised cash, and suddenly expansion wasn't a plan, it was an obligation. New stores opened at a pace the brand had never tested. The magic formula was supposed to be simple: replicate the theater, broadcast the aroma, amplify the hot now ritual. Sales surged, headlines gushed, and franchise inquiries piled up. But amid the euphoria, a blind spot formed. Not every market had the same density of mall traffic, late-night culture, or taste for ultra-sweet breakfast. Some locations skimmed the surface of demand rather than tapping the deep well. And as the footprint widened, the signature experience that made fans evangelize, freshness, spectacle, timing, became harder to reproduce with precision day after day, store after store. Behind the scenes, the growth engine leaned on more than retail donors. Franchisees bought mix, equipment, and branded supplies from the mothership, creating a second revenue stream that looked like momentum even when front-of-house sales softened. On paper, everything pointed up: more openings, more shipments, more recognizable boxes in more places. But second-order effects were accumulating. Stores settled too close to each other and began cannibalizing traffic. Lease obligations locked in fixed costs. Training struggled to keep pace. The brand's core promise, a transcendent, melt-in-your-mouth hot donut, was drifting toward good enough. Then the market's appetite shifted. Health trends challenged sugar-heavy routines, morning habits migrated to faster, savory options, and grocery aisles exploded with cheaper treats that required no detour. Same-store sales, the heartbeat of any chain, began to slow. When comps flatten in a high-growth story, the pressure intensifies. Open faster, promote harder, discount deeper. But discounts teach customers to wait for deals, and speed magnifies small frictions into systemic cracks. The more the company tried to outrun gravity, the more weight it added to its own wings. As margins thinned, the relationships with franchisees frayed. Some owners complained about territories, transfer pricing, and inventory they couldn't sell. Others faced operations that never matched the glossy projections. Lawsuits and disputes aren't just legal problems. They're symptoms of a misaligned incentive system where headquarters celebrates unit growth while operators fight to make a single store profitable. In consumer perception, tiny misses accumulated. A donut not quite hot, a lobby not quite spotless, a wait not quite worth it. The brand that once felt like a celebration started to feel like a commodity. Scrutiny followed. Analysts picked apart the numbers, journalists questioned the narrative, and the market punished uncertainty with brutal speed. Accounting reviews and restatements, even when benign in intent, erode the only currency that matters more than cash in a growth story: trust. The stock fell from darling to cautionary tale, and expansion flipped to retrenchment. Locations closed, obligations were unwound, and the company went back to the drawing board, asking a hard question it had dodged during the sprint: what is the smallest version of this business that still feels magical? Reinvention rarely arrives as a single grand gesture. It shows up in quieter, smaller choices, fewer but better locations, logistics tuned to freshness, partnerships that extend reach without diluting the soul of the product, limited time flavors that spark curiosity without overwhelming the classic. The brand leaned on its genuine strengths: nostalgia, spectacle, that first warm bite, and searched for channels where those strengths mattered: drive-through windows, high-visibility shops, grocery placements that promise fresh today rather than factory yesterday. The goal wasn't to recreate the mania, it was to rebuild trust one box at a time. What does this story decode for builders today? Growth is not the number of doors you unlock, it's the number of customers who would be disappointed if your doors were closed. Supply chain revenues can flatter AP and AMP, but won't save a brand whose frontline experience is drifting. Incentives must rhyme from headquarters to the register. And macro habits, health, convenience, digital delivery, will rewrite your plan whether you acknowledge them or not. The lesson is simple, but never easy: scale only what you can keep special. So here's the question to leave on the table: if the "hot now" sign is your promise, what is the system that guarantees it lights up, reliably, profitably, at a pace your people and your customers can sustain? Every brand has a version of that sign, a signal that says, the magic is ready. Lose the discipline to protect it, and momentum turns into mirage. Protect it, and even after a fall, you can earn your way back, one perfect, unforgettable first bite at a time.